Hello, Bobby aka Anarcha here, and in this video, I would like to talk about how late stage capitalism normativizes sociopathy. And, you know, like, uh, I have mixed feelings about talking about this subject because a lot of people online, quite frankly, throw around like mental health terms, like just because they can. And quite honestly, I think that's such a gross trait. I think that's such a putrid trait. Like, it's so disrespectful to people who actually suffer from severe mental health difficulties, and I call them that very deliberately because, like, like, uh, I think the way that neurotypicals call things, call so many things like disorders. Like, autism isn't really a disorder. You know that, right? It's not. It's a neurological difference. That's all it really is. It's literally neurological divergence. That's why it's called that. That's why ADHD, autism, Asperger's, and various other things are all called that, right? And sure, um antisocial personality disorder and autism spectrum disorders have the same acronym, but like a lot of divergent things have the same acronym. That doesn't mean they're synonyms, just like how synonyms and homonyms aren't always the same thing, which is a point I make often as well. And why is sociopathology or sociopathic behavior being normativized within mainstream late stage capitalist culture? I think there are multiple reasons for this. For one thing, late stage capitalist culture tends to be run by billionaires and trillionaires who are from very sheltered white privileged homes, who tend to be surrounded by people of a like variety, people of like politics. That's why when a lot of these tech bros were starting out and they were trying to paint themselves out to be these great philanthropists or whatever, they said more progressive shit. And now that and now that like and and now that they're being more accepted by the right, their rhetoric is slanting more rightward, right? Like, that's what always sort of happens with these one percenters, you know? With very few exceptions, of course. There are a few rich people of principle and conviction who don't like go along with the sociopathic masses of the 1% tech bro technocratic crowd, but the majority do. And there is a reason that our so called founders, our so called framers, emphasized the importance of minorities over majorities. Like, people forget that all the time. Like, isn't it funny how these people say they want to make America great again, and yet they shit on literally everything that made America great in the first place. Our diversity, our care for the marginalized, our desire to be more just than we were before, our desire to include more than we did before, our desire to be more competitive and yet also cooperative and inclusive than we were before. Our desire to help those in need. Like, what's crazy is, like, most of these so-called conservatives, they're not really conservatives. They're like neo-colonialists, technocrats, and fascists when you get right down to it. I'm a libertarian socialist, and yet, in many ways, I'm more of an authentic conservative than many of these fuckers, in that I actually want our planet to continue being a planet for people. Yeah, what a concept. I want the poor to be taken care of. Yeah, what a concept. I want everybody to have a chance to thrive in a, in legal boundaries, as long as they respect the boundaries of others and the boundaries of consent for others. Yeah, what a concept, huh? But so many of these posh twats don't seem to get that. And you hear all the time these people bitch and moan about the woke mind virus, when typically what they mean by that is, oh, white people are only being put first most of the time instead of fucking always like it used to be. That's what they really mean by wokeness, right? They mean by wokeness, like, ooh, a black person is on screen in a non-stereotypical manner. The horror. An autistic person is being represented positively. The horror. The a blind person played by a sighted person is on screen. The horror. Disabled people played by able-bodied people are being represented positively. The horror. Gay people are not being treated like absolute animals anymore. The horror. Mexicans are actually being sympathized with as we brutalize them and send Nazi thugs called ICE to round them up all over LA and various other parts of the country. The horror. Yeah. And like, the thing I want to impress upon y'all is the fact that sociopathy is not interesting inherently and intrinsically. In fact, it's actually fucking boring. Like, what one of the reasons I push back against the sensationalization of antisocial personality disorder is not because I don't recognize its dangers, because I absolutely do, but because sensationalization of mental illness, or mental health difficulties, I should say, is it is inherently ableistic. It's gross. destructive of our social fabric, actually. And it makes our culture so much less rich, so much less vibrant. And when it comes to richness, I'm not just talking about our economic capital, I'm talking about our social capital, our diversity, our multiculturalism, uh, our secularism, the things, ironically enough, that largely set us apart from Europe to begin with. That's why so many Europeans, so many places from continents all over, so many people from continents all over the world came here. Well, also a lot of people were forced over here, to be fair, um, but yeah, people people lionize the American dream, but they forget that the American dream was a dream for future residents as much as it was for current residents, and we forget that at our peril. This has been Bobby, aka Anarcha Media, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity. Goodbye.